Now then, people, good morning, you lovely lot, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. It's just a bit of a morning update on all the latest Leeds United transfer news. If indeed we are going to do any business, we better bloody do. There was a nice, great panel show where we got into that late last night, so if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. But this is your Thursday, the 9th of January morning update. The press is later on, so I'll see you then. But I just wanted to get into the latest stuff. Now, of course, Louis Barry could be on his way to Derby County. I don't think we're ever in the hunt for the guy because ultimately he's another winger who maybe be able to play in the 10. That seems to be the thing. Well, surely he can play there and surely he can play there. We don't need Louis Barry. Don Goodman, who's been paid to just talk on transfers, has said, well, I think he should go to Leeds United. But look, it's a massive step up from League One to the Championship. That's why he's been linked with Derby, which is more, lower end. I don't see Louis Barry being parachuted in to help Leeds United get over the line in terms of promotion. But yeah, Louis Barry, Don Goodman, chatting beans saying he should come to Leeds over Derby County. Of course, if he had the option, he probably would. But we don't need Louis Barry. We don't need another winger that can potentially play 10. The two areas of the pitch that we're absolutely stacked and I'm really, really comfortable with as a fan, not needing any further additions, is the wing options with Ramazani, Nonto, Solomon, and of course Dan James, and then in midfield with Tanaka, Rothwell, Ampadu, Gruev. So we're good in them areas. Everywhere else could do with a little sprinkling, but yeah, Louis Barry falls into that bracket for me. So I don't see that being one that will happen. Goalkeeper, not really anything that will excite folks. One for the future, of course, Robbie Cook. It's still been reported that he has signed a 3-year deal with Leeds United. That should be announced shortly. Apparently, we fended off interest from Birmingham City. Manchester United are also keen on the young shot stopper, but this is a guy that's going to be for the future. Ideally, we need someone now for the goalkeeper position, but I think we're going to give Darlow an opportunity at the weekend against Harrogate and then see where the land lies after that. Melia needs to be taken out of the firing line. I mean, Jack last night on the show made a point that he still thinks he might end up as our number one come the end of the season, and then maybe potentially we'll look at moving him on in the summer. But let's just hope Darlow as a barnstormer improves with the ball at his feet and, leads us into the Premier League. And then we look at another goalie. To be fair to Darlow, he did play a full season in the Championship for Newcastle that time when they came down under Rafa, I believe. He also had a full season in the Premier League and did quite well. He's well thought of, to be fair, and he had a good season at Hull. I'm not saying he's a bad goalie by any stretch of the imagination. I think he probably is okay, but we haven't, when we've seen him, he hasn't been up to the level that we'd want. But it is what it is. I think if we don't sign a goalkeeper, which I'm coming round to the idea that the club won't, they'll look at it and say, we've got 3. We can't offload any of them, so we're just going to have to go with what we've got. Let's hope the Darlow one works out. Look, this was mentioned last night on the show, the Round the Table show that we did with the panel. I seen it in the chat. It wasn't really brought up in our conversation, but there was a lot of chat about Emmanuel Lati and a potential move to Leeds United. He's been linked to Leicester. I believe it's around about 12 million. I would like Lati. I don't think Leeds United will entertain a bid of that amount of money. And I don't think Middlesbrough would sell to a direct rival because they will see us as that. And I just don't see Leeds United shelling out 12 million when we have Joel Pirot. And I know he probably has more facets to his game and would suit our style more than what Joel would. But it's a heavy layout when you consider the club are probably looking at it saying, well, we've got Mateo Joseph as a backup. Underneath that, we have Bamford. I would like us to potentially bring someone in. But if we did, surely it would just be to supplement Joseph and Pirot. I don't see it being someone who would be considered to be your starting striker. So as much as I'd be on board with signing Emmanuel Lati, I think it's too expensive for us, especially when you consider that the Premier League's on the horizon. We're not going to get in the conversation about, loan with a view to a buy off someone who's chasing top 6, it's going to have to be straight up cash, and they'll probably want more from us than they'd want from Leicester. So, yeah, as much as I'd be on board with the signing of Emmanuel Lati, I just don't see it happening, folks. It's a bit of a mad one. One that I would probably consider, I guess it's not really a long-term issue, because obviously we have the contract scenario with Junior Firpo. Sam Byram is always an injury risk, as much as I like him. Vobra is a centre-back playing left-back, and we don't know what's going on with Isaac Schmidt. So I probably wouldn't mind this as a signing. Would give us loads of experience. We have, again, been linked to Ben Davis. Ben Davis at Tottenham. Welsh teammate, of course, of Rodon, Ampadu and James. It would make sense in that respect, and you could probably convince him to make the move based on those factors alone. He has featured just 4 times in the Premier League for Spurs this season. This is a Spurs side that are absolutely pillaged at the back. Like, they have nobody. They're playing Archie Gray and Dragerson at centre-back. Previously, Ben Davis has dropped in at centre-back for Spurs in these kind of scenarios. The fact that they're opting for Dragerson and Gray shows just how limited game time is for Ben Davis. So a move to West Yorkshire could be appealing for him, not least because of his teammates, and it offers him the opportunity of first-team football. And I think we would have reliability. We would have a player. Yes, he is aging, but for me, he's a player that would certainly add something to Leeds United. If I'm being totally honest, and I think even if it's a short-term loan potentially, I'm not sure how the finances would be worked out. Would you really want to take Ben Davis on a long-term deal, considering his age and stuff? Maybe you can offer him 2 years and just say to Junior, okay, you're free to find another club, potentially. I think he does have a contract though, right? He does have a contract, and it is coming towards a close. So will he just run down that contract and look to move to another club that way? But look, he's been pretty glowing about Leeds United in the past, obviously due to the fact that a lot of his teammates play championship football for Leeds. And look, if Firpo, I don't think we're going to offer Firpo no new deal. Byram, as I've mentioned, Boba centre-back playing left-back. I think it could be a short-term 2-year deal. Boom, get us up and give us a year in the Premier League and see where we're at. Would make sense. And finally, folks, according to Football Fancast, again, I don't think this is credible. I know a lot of Leeds fans mentioned it over the past week or so, was our link to Coventry City midfielder Ben Sheaf. But as mentioned right at the top of the show when we were talking about Louis Barry and our options there, we have a plethora of options in midfield. He can't play in the 10. The one area, if you would class that as a midfield and not an attacking position, I would say it's more midfield, attacking midfield. Yeah, anyway, that's by the by. Ben Sheaf isn't needed at Leeds United. We have been linked to him just through Football Fancast, but again, I think he cost a pretty penny. He's now working under Lampard, may want to stay there as well. Maybe if we weren't to sign Joe Rothwell permanent, you could look at him potentially. I'm not too sure, but I just don't see a world in which we are moving for Ben Sheaf. So to cut a long story short, out of all those that have been linked this morning, I'd take Davis, I'd take Latila. Do I think it's likely we get both? I'd be more leaning to the side of Ben Davis. But the facts are, I'm quite depressed about the window thus far. I know we're only 9 days in, but I just don't think we're going to do anything. And as I said last night, I think it's pretty negligent. But hey-ho, what do I know? We shall see. But smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. And I'll see you back here at around about 2 o'clock when we hear from Daniel Farker. And of course, he'll give us some, hopefully, some transfer news. I've got a feeling it might just be none at all. But yeah, we live in hope. Peace out now, folks.